Today on The Topping Show, Matt Walsh pulls mask off Fox News, Bud Light CEO breaks silence, Cartoon Network sneaks gender identity into cartoons, Yealing clarifies a drag event, actress makes an abortion cake, Supreme Court sides with Jack Daniels, Tesla is offering free charging as an incentive, Disney's CFO stands down, Virgin Galactic will start their commercial flights this month, Google to add to their fashion app, and Kroger, their stock, just took a little bit of a dip. All that and much, much more on The Topping Show. Thank you for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's a joke. If you're a business owner or an IT leader, you need a little assistance, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Now, going on to the political part of the podcast, you have Ron DeSantis blocking the direct sale of cars to citizens in Florida. However, not Tesla. And in fact, Rivian, Lucid, and any automaker without a prior dealership agreement in Florida are exempt from the new law. Now, this new law that the Florida Senate successfully passed was Bill 637, which again, from a marketing perspective, the government gets an F. At least put like one or two like names or words to it so people can recognize it, because again, 637 sounds pretty uninspiring. At least you could have made the bill number something to do with a car, like a Hemi, but I digress. I know it's probably just numerical and it goes higher with time. And Ron DeSantis subsequently signed the bill into law. Now, it's one of those instances where dealership agreements are it's a pretty litigious situation, and most states love automotive dealerships. It's not because they have an altruistic relationship where they just love each other because they love each other. It's because, fiscally speaking, it's one of the most important things for your state. Because, at least back when I lived in Iowa, it was the number one revenue source from the state. The single greatest line item on the state's budget was sales taxes from vehicles. It's a huge fiscal thing for these states. And a lot of the dealerships will also argue that they provide jobs, support communities, and they're a great way to support mom and pop shops. Although that argument starts to go away as you see more and more parent companies purchase multiple dealerships throughout the United States. That trend has only especially gotten increased throughout COVID and throughout the price gouging as more and more cars is being sold for above list price. In fact, on a disgusting note, not as disgusting as the previous segment we talked about, there's dealerships trying to sell the Honda Civic Type R for $65,000. It's a Honda Civic. Again, I love my little Honda Civic SI, stick shift, 3-pedal for life, great consumer value at the price recommended by the manufacturer. But to ask $65,000 for a Honda Civic, I know it's the Type R, so it's the best. It's got all the engineering for the racetrack. For that price, just get a used Porsche or a used Corvette with a stick shift, as Corvettes used to all have that option back in the good old days for the C7 and before. But I digress. These dealerships make huge amounts of money for the states, and it makes sense for him to make the exemption. A lot of people are saying, well, why make an exemption for Tesla? That would basically make it so Teslas would not be sold in the state, because Elon, I don't think, would allow them to have a dealership, because it goes against the whole philosophy of the company. And it also goes against the whole trend of the industry. You're seeing other automotive brands, including Mercedes, where they have dealerships, but the dealerships are more of a experience center, and they actually call them agents, where the dealership employees, the sales reps, they get a flat rate commission, so they don't increase the cost of the vehicle 2x or 3 times what the MSRP is, as you're seeing people stupidly pay for the new Corvette, which isn't even a stick shift. It's automatic. It was controversial enough for the engine to be put in the rear. But it had to be automatic. I died a little inside that day. Rest in peace, the true Corvette. But I digress. A lot of states get a lot of money from these automotive dealerships. And if the dealerships are, again, they're incentivizing the politicians, not just with lobbying, but they're helping the state out fiscally speaking. I'm not too surprised he did this for the incumbent automotive companies that are already established with all those dealerships. I think you're going to see the big trend with there's not going to be new dealerships set up, I don't think. You're going to see, in terms of investments, the automotive companies are going to cap the number of dealerships they have now. And you've seen Ford actually decrease the number of dealerships as they also increase the qualifications to be a dealership. With some, I believe, Cadillac actually forcing or coercing automotive dealerships to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to be EV qualified so they can sell those EV vehicles, which they do take more technology, but it's also prohibitively expensive for the companies. So time shall tell to see how this progresses. But in terms of a political statement, I don't think people don't really care too much in terms of the incumbent solution is already there, or the incumbent situation with dealerships are already there. And I don't think it's going to be a big divisive issue or a big, it's not going to hurt his odds becoming president, which again are, I don't think he has the best odds. He's running, of course, now, but time shall tell to see how this plans out or plays out. Now, other interesting political news, you have the United States Supreme Court. I want to thank you for taking the time to tune in today. It really helps me out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Also share with your friends. Each one of those things greatly helps the channel grow and develop. And the more we can build the channel, the more we can reinvest back in the channel with exceptional content and technologies, maybe some picture-in-picture someday. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone to stay safe and fight the good fight.